Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and we are going to talk about, well, not all these books. Let's get them out of the way. Sweet Paprika, number one. Art and writing by Mirka Andolfo. I love this cover, by the way. Even without the context of the rest of the comic book, this cover tells you quite a bit about the character. Look at the way she's looking, at the eyes. Like there's some confidence, some smugness, maybe, would be the right term. She's definitely full of herself. It's a great piece of art. It's a great enough piece of art that it's not really a comic book cover. It's just a nice piece of art. Oh boy. So where do we start? I have to be like super duper careful with this book because just randomly on an otherwise satisfactory page, there's a little something that maybe you shouldn't be seeing on YouTube. Some little Ghibli bits kind of hanging out. Now there's nothing really explicit or anything like that in this book. It's not that kind of comic. It's a lot like Unsacred or Sacro-Profane, whichever title you want to use, where it's kind of just like a little sex comedy type thing. It's not obscene from like a strictly, oh, this is obscene kind of point of view. But, if you're not 18 or older, you probably shouldn't be reading this book. Like, that's just how it is. I gotta do something real quick here. Make sure my audio keeps working because I'm gonna unplug. So if you hear a little music in the background, that's all. You shouldn't. All right, let me unplug my headset. There we go. Because if I'm not careful when I unplug my headset, it'll go beep beep beep, and then that'll be it. And then that would kind of ruin the review. But I wanted to open up my curtain and let in a little bit more light so you can see this page better. So this is how we start, man. She's just playing with her dolls. And, well, you can kind of see what kind of game she was playing with the dolls. A little kissy face right there. It was a lot worse on the previous page. Not that there's anything showing. So that's our first introduction to Paprika. Now we really get introduced to who the character is as an adult right here. So this dude's like leading a little business meeting. He's like, yo, we got the product. And whether or not they have the product or not, he's a jerk. Somebody comes in, opens the door, holding coffee with the left hand. Oh, my coffee, finally. Wait, is this? And everybody else is like, oh, Lord. They know who she is. They know what's up. So what's up? You ready for this? It is a great boom. So you can kind of see like what's going on here with Paprika, man. She runs the show. This whole business, everything about it is her domain. And she rules it like a queen. Like her own personal little empire, which I guess it is. She's like the creative director of a publishing imprint. There we go. That's English. But it seems my foolish assistant forgot to add my specially refined Madagascar any sugar. Go and fix it now, you useless piece of mud. Don't try to argue. Just do it. Now, of course, we learned that she's mostly like kind of just wearing him down. But it's great. The other main character, the other half of the romantic duo here, which if you've seen any of her art, you know that Paprika pairs with Dill. We get introduced to Dill. And then after this, we learn more about their characters, and we kind of see how their relationship is going to eventually have to fit together. There's a reason I'm not panning down the page, and it's just because randomly there's, something I can't really show you. But you can tell, like, he gets in here, he's a delivery guy, he's flirting with everybody, he's popular, he's lovely. Later on in the story, we learn that things aren't all satisfactory with his relationships with people. They're very superficial. Hers, she doesn't really have any. So now you have two people, one of which is introverted, one of which is extroverted, and you know what's going to happen? They're going to get together. Boom. The dynamic is a lot like the dynamic in Unsacred, and I think the book is basically going to be a very similar sort of story. It won't be the same, obviously, but we're going to hit some of the same notes. I've seen some of these characters, the way they're written before in her other work. So I don't know that I'm going to have a whole lot to say about Sweet Paprika going forward. I did like the book. The art's just absolutely gorgeous. The line work, the inking, the colors, like everything just looks good. It's a lot of fun to read. I had a great time reading it. Having said all that, I don't know that I'm ever going to review another one of these because I think I'm going to say a lot of the same things in those reviews. If I read one and I feel differently, we'll do a review. The other thing is, I gotta be very careful when I'm showing you the book because there's little Ghibli bits hanging out sometimes. And YouTube, you can show like the most like crazy violence in the comic book. You know, like somebody getting ripped in half or something. Probably a better example of that right there. You can definitely show that kind of stuff. Lots of violence, but you can't show any Ghibli bits, which I also got to be careful with when I do my barbaric review. Haven't read it yet. It's still on the to-do list, but I expect to have similar kinds of problems with Ghibli bits. So check out Sweet Paprika if you want like a funny romantic comedy type deal. This should be the book you want. It really felt like the first act of a romantic comedy film, and I mean that in a very good way, not in like a derisive way. So take that for what you will. You all have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on. Hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.